Chinaman to tell them something about the monastery. How many people live here, and what countries do you belong to? She asked. Chang replied, we have about 50 lamas, and there are a few others, like myself, who are not yet priests. Most of us are Tibetans and Chinese, but there are some from many other nations as well. Is your head lama Tibetan or Chinese? Miss Brinklow asked. No. Are they English? Are there any English? Yes, several. That seems very strange, Miss Brinklow said. Now tell me what you believe in. That's rather a big question, Conway said, but I must confess that interests me too. Chang answered rather slowly and very quietly. If I were to put it into a very few words, I should say that we believe in taking the middle way in all things. Several thousand people live in the valley under our control. We rule them with moderate strictness, and in return we are satisfied with moderate obedience. We do not expect them to become completely good or absolutely honest, but they are moderately good and honest, and everyone is happy. Even Mallinson had shown some interest in this conversation, but now he said, all this has been very interesting, but I really think it's time we began to discuss our plans for getting away. We want to return to India as soon as possible. How many porters can you let us have? There was a long pause before Chang replied. Unfortunately, Mr. Mallinson, I have nothing to do with the porters, but I don't think the matter can be arranged immediately. But something must be arranged. We must all return to our work, and our friends and relatives will be worrying about us. Chang did not reply. Mallinson waited a moment and then continued. Where is the nearest telegraph line? Where do you send when you want anything? He suddenly sounded frightened and pushed back his chair and stood up. His face was pale and he passed his hand across his eyes. I am so tired, he said, looking wildly around the room. I don't feel that any of you are really trying to help me. I am only asking a simple question. You must know the answer to it. When you had all these modern baths put in, how did they get in here? There was another silence. You won't tell me then. It's part of the mystery, I suppose. Conway, we must get away tomorrow. It's absolutely necessary. He would have slipped to the floor, but Bernard caught him and helped him to a chair. Conway felt himself waking from a strange dream. I expect we are all feeling tired, he said. I think we had better end this discussion and go to bed. Bernard, will you look after Mallinson? I am sure you are in need of sleep too, Miss Brinklow. Good night. I shall soon follow. He almost pushed them out of the room and then turned to Chang. Now, sir, he said seriously, I'll come to the point at once. My friend is excited, but I don't blame him. He's quite right. Our return journey has to be arranged, and we can't do it without your help. If it is true that you can do nothing for us yourself, put us in touch with someone else who can. The Chinaman answered, You are wiser than your friends, my dear sir, and therefore less impatient. I am glad. He smiled and then went on. I doubt whether you will easily find men who are willing to undertake this journey. They have their homes in the valley and they don't like making long and tiring trips into the outside world. They can be persuaded to do so, however. Where were they taking you this morning? This morning, oh, that was quite a different matter. In what way? Asked Conway. Weren't you setting out on a journey when we met you? There was no reply to this, and presently Conway continued in a quieter voice. I understand, it was not a chance meeting. You came there on purpose to meet us. That means that you knew that we were coming. And the interesting question is, how did you know? The Chinaman's face was calm and expressionless in the lamplight. You are clever, he said dreamily, but not entirely correct. For that reason, I should advise you not to worry. Believe me, you are not in any danger at Shangri-La. We are not worrying about danger, we are worrying about delay, Conway said coldly. I realize that, and of course, there may be a certain unavoidable delay. Meanwhile, we want you and your companions to enjoy every moment of your stay here. Well, if it's only for a short time, said Conway doubtfully. I can't say that I shall mind a great deal. It's a new and interesting experience, and in any case, we need some rest. He looked out towards the shining mountain, Karakal. At that moment, in the bright moonlight, it seemed as if he might almost touch it with his hand. It was so clear against the deep blue sky. Something made him ask the meaning of its name. In the language of the valley, Karakal means blue moon, said Chan softly. That's the end of the chapter. Next we will start chapter 5 on page 35. Thank you.